Throughout football history, we have seen that leadership in team sports is one of those key aspects you need if you want to become successful. And when you're thinking of leaders that has been through Chelsea history, you're thinking of John Terry. I mean, we had a whole 11 of leaders under Mourinho, Ancelotti, even under Conte to some extent. And the thing now in Chelsea is that I think that is the missing element in this team to take us forward to the next level. Now we have got a really good start to the season and we're seeing progress. We're gonna see those poor games like we saw against Forest because we have a new manager and the players is trying to learn his style of play, their new roles, they're building chemistry with each other. I still think though top 4 is achievable, but for the future, if we want to challenge City, Arsenal in Premier League, even Liverpool, if we want to challenge in Champions League, FA Cup, Carabao Cup and win those trophies, in more leaders is going to elevate the squad. Don't get me wrong, I think we have a few leaders, potential few leaders in this team. And I'm looking at Tosin because he's very vocal with the players. And I will also look to maybe Palmer. Maybe he isn't that vocal, but he's taking responsibility on the pitch. James and Chilwell, you know, they were announced as club captains under Pochettino. Now James is still the club captain. Chilwell isn't the vice captain anymore. But for me, they are barely available and they aren't that vocal and can help command the backline. And as we know, under the summer and previous transfer windows, our owners has only been focusing on purchasing player under 25 years old, focusing on youth and inexperience and purchasing them for their future potential. And now that's very good. We have brought in some fantastic young players in Pedro Neto, Palmer, Gusto, Caicedo, Lavia, etc. Right? But we haven't really brought in that experience that Pochettino was desperate of. Maresca might actually ask for that in the future as well. We have to wait and see. I think you need a nice blend, a nice mix. I'm not saying you have to bring in like 5 new players. I think just bringing in 2 would be enough. The only experienced guy that is over 30 years old is Bettinelli in this team, and he's our 3rd, if not 4th choice goalkeeper. He's never going to be available, so we can't count him in. Sterling is gone, Thiago Silva is gone, Aspi is gone a long time ago. And the reason why I think we need leadership, because we see immaturity in the squad. One example is that we broke the yellow card record last season in Premier League with over 100 yellow cards. We had 4 red cards. Even the start of this season, in 11 games, we already have picked up 33 yellow cards. Now, one of these games, we received many yellow cards because of Anthony Taylor, because he hates us. But most of the time, we have really bad temper, and we're trying to fight with the referee, with the opponent. We're saying things we shouldn't do. Those yellow cards mostly come from indiscipline, because the players can't keep their mouth shut. And I think it's right to take yellow cards when you have to take a tactical foul, or you're trying to defend a teammate who got a nasty tackle, like a hospital tackle. Then I think it would be right. What we need to do here is try to keep our head calm. Because nowadays people talking about the dark arts of the game, and Mourinho and Conte were experts on that. But we did it on a good level. Like, we were underneath the opponent's skin and was really annoying, but We didn't take unnecessary yellow cards most of the time. We could still be level-headed and have composure and calmness. And I think these players needs to change this poor behavior. I mean, we've been fighting with each other. I mean, Jackson was going crazy on Fofana, I think, against Nottingham Forest, and the manager can only do so much. Maresca can only do so much. I think you need a few key figures in this team that's going to help the manager. He can't do everything by himself. Both Fofana and Cucurella received their 5th yellow card. They will be out and suspended for the Liverpool game, which is really poor, because I think we need them. And when you're taking so many yellow cards, it affects the team, it affects you because you can't play, and the team is going to need you in the starting 11. And the opponent is also winning because they want you to get those yellow cards. They want you to be affected mentally and lose focus. So even if someone says something, even if you don't agree with the referee, just they have to take a deep breath and refocus on the game, what they can do next in the next action. Don't let the opponent or the referee get into your head, because you cannot control their decisions or what they're gonna do. The players can only control what's in front of them, what they can do better. And if we changing that attitude and poor habit, I think we're gonna be stronger mentally in the game and more focused, and therefore we could perhaps score a late goal against Forest and win the game. If we were just focused on our game and not Forest and the referee. This needs to improve. We need to fix our discipline. The next thing I will look to fix is that we need more players being brave and taking responsibility out there on the pitch, because leaders does that. The one player I can look at in our team that definitely takes responsibility is Cole Palmer. I think Colwill, Caicedo can do that to some extent. Madueke tries that, but we need more players, more and more players to do that. And that would just benefit the whole squad. When we are in dying moments of a goal, like we were on the Forest, we need players to be vocal with each other, speak. Alright guys, we need someone to take action here and be brave. We need to be more forward. We need more players inside the box. We need to make more risky passes. They need to talk with each other and push each other, boost each other's moral and confidence. So if we improve that, I think we can score those late goals and manage to come to clutch and win a game and get those 3 crucial points. Third example why we lack maturity in this team is because there has been a lot of off-field dramas from Mudryk, Jackson, Madueke, Fernandes and other guys, and that has improved from some of them, but it needs to improve further. We need to try shut everything of this down as much as we can, because otherwise it can just affect the club atmosphere and good feel factor inside the dressing room. Now let's say the January transfer window comes and Maresca brings in 1-2 leaders. There are 3 things I believe they're going to improve our team with, and that is first, better decision making and take responsibility. Let's take Van Dijk in the Carabao Cup final where we face Liverpool, or let's take Thiago Silva as an example when he was here. They both are calm and level-headed under pressure. And when they're keeping their calmness, they can make better and wise decisions out there on the pitch. And it also helps the teammates to also be more calm and having confidence on the pitch. And they're also taking responsibility. Despite Liverpool putting out their B team and having a lot of youngsters coming on from the bench, Van Dijk was the one that took responsibility and headed home the winning goal in the last minutes, and they won the Carabao Cup. And we lacked that in the final because Thiago Silva and Reece James was out injured, and there was no one in that game that took responsibility. And we lacked that in the final because Thiago Silva and Reece James was out injured, and there was no one in that game that took responsibility. So that's few examples. Another thing that leaders bring is effective communication. They being vocal all the time out there and off the pitch, especially on the pitch. They can help with tactics, instructions, telling players what to do and not, because the players cannot always hear what the manager screams from the sideline, because there's so much noise going around. The fans are singing and shouting, cheering, and the leaders in the team can command the team. They can command the backline, the midfield, the attack. They can help players to tell where to go and position themselves on set pieces. Mark that player. You need to be more aggressive here. When I'm going forward, you cover my back. They can also boost the confidence and motivate them. Let's say someone has a bad game and making mistakes. They can go up to that player and talk to him and encourage him. Play without pressure. You've got nothing to lose here, and boost them. I don't see any player in this team doing that out on the pitch, and every other top team has those leaders that is doing that, and we missing out on it. Just with Aspi, Silva and Terry as well, is that they helping with mentoring and development. Skilled leaders like them will be mentors for inexperienced and younger guys, so they can learn from them. They're helping them settle well into the team and the club culture. They teaching them the club's high demands, goals, their high mentality. They also helping players being disciplined, improving and giving everything they can to get better as a player. And when you're having leaders that are mentoring other players in the team, especially the younger ones, the future will be more secured, and you will have a better sustainability because you're also teaching the younger guys to become like them. But we don't have any of these guys in this team because Aspi Silva is not here anymore, and we haven't really replaced them with similar players that has the similar leadership attributes. What can Maresca do? The first thing he can do is go into the January transfer window and purchase 1-2 leaders. He spoke about in previous press conferences that he would like to add more physicality and aggressiveness in the midfield. And that could be the next signing. It's up to the scouts to do the job. I can't sit here and tell you, oh, we're gonna sign that player immediately, because I'm gonna have to look that up. But it's their job to find it, and if Maresca wants to add more physicality in the midfield, well, then purchase a physical midfielder that is good under possession but also has leadership qualities. And we will elevate the squad even further. The second thing he can do, and he mentioned and talked about this before the season started, and that was he's perhaps trying to cultivate leaders here. He's trying to help players grow into that by giving certain players in this team more responsibility and more tasks to do. And some of these players were Enzo Fernandez, Caicedo, I think it was Colwill as well, and some other guys that I can't remember. And that's really good. You're giving other players responsibility, and they will be forced to mature and show others what they're gonna do. The thing is, we can only wait 1-2 years and see the results of it. At least Maresca is trying to do something about it and trying to help players and guide them to grow into being more leaders. But will they necessarily do that? We can only wait and see. I simply just want the best for Chelsea, and I want to get results and win trophies as soon as possible. And bringing in those players is going to help us, like it helps for Manchester City, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern München. They all have one common theme. They have a mixed squad with youth, inexperience, experience, leaders and elite players. I think 1-2 leaders would be enough, and they don't have to be over 30 years old. They can be around 27, 29 in their prime, or even younger than that if they have those attributes we're looking for. This is what I would do to help the squad. We're making it much harder than it should be. If we want to be serious and catch Manchester City, and we want to get up to the Real Madrid level, we need to try and look at what they are doing and implement that at Chelsea. So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below if you think we're lacking leadership at Chelsea, and I will happily read it. And I thank you so much for watching, and Chelsea Explained is out.